recognize the member from Leduc-Beaumont.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the chance to rise and speak in this hallowed hall, I am humbled, I am honored to speak to the speech from the throne. If you would have told me 10, 11 months ago that I would have been standing here in front of some of the brightest, most hardworking people in the province with this mace on my lapel, speaking about the constituency where I call home and the people and the businesses that keep that community running, I would have told you it was a dream. If you would have told me 10 years ago when I moved to Beaumont and started working in the community to help my wife support our growing family, that I would have had the opportunity to run in a provincial election, talk to thousands of my neighbours and community members about what they hope for the future of this province, I would have told you to keep dreaming. But I'm here, I am in front of you, and I do have the incredible honour of telling you about the unique, diverse and interesting riding that I now call home. First, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to thank the amazing people of my riding who have given me the privilege of representing them here. And I endeavour to work every day my hardest for the people of Leduc-Beaumont. I would also like to thank the incredible volunteers in my EDA who worked tirelessly to get me elected. They were and are truly fantastic teammates, friends, and people. I'd also like to thank my CAs, Colleen Copley and Kim Slomnicki, who keep me organized and on the straight and narrow, and who do incredible work serving and helping our constituents. They are the backbone of our constituency office and invaluable, to say the least. But my biggest thanks go to my beautiful wife, Kelly, and my two boys, Declan, who is 7, and Matic, who is 5. They are my heart and soul, and I would be nothing without their love and support. I am truly blessed to have them in my life, and I'm extremely grateful to them for always being there for me when I need a hug, a smile, a kind word, or a good wrestling match. My 5-year-old now thinks he's John Cena for some reason. My compatriot would have loved this right here. Since being elected as the MLA for Leduc-Beaumont, I have had the distinct pleasure of working with 3 mayors, many councillors and hardworking admin staff of the town of Beaumont, County of Leduc, and the City of Leduc. Immediately after being elected, I was welcomed into my role with hearty handshakes and a sense of belonging. I'm very grateful to have experienced municipal leaders like Mayor John Whaley from Leduc County, Mayor Greg Krischke of Leduc, and Mayor Camille Berube of Beaumont to help show me the ropes. Public service at all levels requires a special kind of commitment, and my community is lucky to have leaders who have been champions of prosperity and community-mindedness as well as cooperation. I am so glad to work as a team with these leaders to weather whatever may be. Ours is a community of hardworking entrepreneurs and business owners that are hugely committed to giving back to their communities. Large corporations and organizations like the Edmonton International Airport are still supporting local initiatives and organizations there because this is where their employees live and where they are raising their families. The people of Leduc-Beaumont have strong ties there. Ties to groups like the Knights of Columbus, who were recently present at the Franco-Albertan flag raising in Beaumont, the Optimus Club in Leduc, Lions Clubs, Rotary Clubs, Kinsman Clubs, the Golden Pioneers in New Sarepta, Leduc and District Food Bank, Links Connect, the Community Living Association, the Drug Action Coalition, the Boys and Girls Club in Leduc, St. Vital Senior Center in Beaumont, the 4-H clubs in and around Leduc County, Leduc and Beaumont, the Rise Up House, and Leduc and District Emergency Shelter. These are just a handful. There's also the business associations like the Leduc Chamber of Commerce, the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce, and the Leduc-Nisku Economic Development Association. They've all helped me immensely in doing this job. We have the second biggest industrial park in North America. Some say first, but we don't want Texas to be mad, so we say second. With that title comes hardworking, skilled, and educated labor, and business owners who know what it's like to roll up their sleeves and find solutions, and a community of people who find strength in each other. There are all manner of businesses there, from oil and gas service operations to advanced manufacturing to green energy and renewable operations. The technology created and used in this industrial park is used all over this country and all over the world. They are creating technologies and processes that prove that economic sustainability and environmental sustainability are not mutually exclusive. Renewable energy and fossil fuels will supplement and complement each other and help us to build a more sustainable society and world for future generations. It's most definitely a partnership and not an us versus them scenario. We will continue to be an economic driver in this province. The businesses in Leduc, Nisku, and Beaumont are finding ways to move forward, find new markets, manufacture to the needs of industry, and finding solutions for businesses who need to adapt to the changes put in front of them, as they always have. Part of my job, I feel, is to listen to these entrepreneurs, and innovators and to find out what roadblocks or hurdles are in the way of new and emerging technology and to remove them or tweak them if feasible. I want to help them and help them have the ability to diversify and create new job markets whenever possible. Mr. Speaker, I've said some general things about my constituency, but here are a few more specifics. The history of Leduc can be traced back to 1889 when Robert Taylor Telford settled on a piece of land near a scenic lake, Telford Lake. This piece of land would become the cornerstone of the new town. And during those earlier years, Robert Telford was the first postmaster, general merchant, and justice of the peace in the settlement that was informally known as Telford. He also served the community as mayor and as a member of the Legislative Assembly. In 1890, a government telegraph office was being set up by Mr. McKinley, a settler in the area. And he needed a name for the place and said, "We shall name it after the first person who comes in." And in through the door came Father Leduc. In 1899, Lieutenant Governor Dewdney of the Northwest Territories decreed that the settlement of Telford should be called Leduc in honor of the noted Roman Catholic missionary Father Hippolyte Leduc, who had served the area since 1867 and later went on to become the Vicar General of the Diocese of Edmonton. I was going to speak French here, but I don't see the translation, so I'll give the English first, and then I will give you the French. Beautifully situated, known for its picturesque church on the hill, the town of Beaumont began as a French colony in 1895. 10 acres of land was purchased in 1894 from the Hudson's Bay Company, and a founding resident donated 20 more acres. These 30 acres were the foundation to what became the hamlet of Beaumont. St. Vital Church was constructed and completed in the spring of 1895 on these 30 acres of land. In 1899, a group of 38 farmers formed an incorporated company called Compagnie de Moulins de Beaumont Limité, Harvest Company of Beaumont. Beaumont moved into the 20th century firmly established as a community with an active commercial base whose social and spiritual life revolved around the church. Here we go. Situé dans un lieu magnifique et reconnu pour son église au caractère pittoresque bâtie sur la colline, la ville de Beaumont fut établie en tant que colonie en 1895. En 1894, 10 acres de terrain furent achetés de la compagnie de la baie d'Hudson et résident fondateur fit le don de 20 autres acres. Le hameau de Beaumont fut donc fondé sur ces 30 acres de terrain et au printemps de 1895, l'église Saint-Vital fut construite à cet endroit. En 1899, un groupe de 38 fermiers établirent une compagnie constituée en personne morale, la Compagnie du Moulin de Beaumont Limité. Ainsi, c'est à titre de communauté bien établie que Beaumont fit son entrée dans le XXe siècle, jouissant d'une saine activité commerciale ayant l'Église au cœur de sa vie spirituelle et sociale. Located 30 minutes from Edmonton on Highway 21, the village of New Sarepta is just moments away from Joseph Lake, Centennial Park, and Miquelon Lake Provincial Park. This village derived its name from a group of German immigrant settlers from Russia. The railway, built in 1912, provided a nucleus for a town, and homesteaders were quick to make the area a farming community. This thriving village is striving to become the cartoon capital of Canada, which I'm sure most of you didn't know. And you can visit its famous Fence of Fame. Many of the walls in New Sarepta High School are adorned with original cartoon murals created by Yardley Jones. It's pretty interesting to see. Luma is a small hamlet of approximately 37 people east of Beaumont, most I met on my election campaign. Kavanaugh is a small hamlet of approximately 38 people south of Leduc, and the hamlet was created and settled by workers of Kavanaugh Block of the CNR Railway and was named for Charles Edmund Kavanaugh, who was the railway superintendent. There are many amazing places and attractions in my riding, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to highlight just a few of those for the House today. February 13th, 1947. On a farm just southwest of Edmonton, news of a huge oil strike at Leduc number 1 was transmitted around Alberta, Canada, and the world. This famous discovery marked the birth of Western Canada's modern oil industry and has been called one of the most important economic discoveries in Canada's history. Today, the grit, determination, and success of our early oil patch pioneers are preserved at the Canadian Petroleum Discovery Centre with 13 acres and 23,000 square feet indoors of models, fossils, working rigs, antique equipment, machinery, murals, archives, classrooms, theatre, and more. It's a truly unique museum experience. And I was pleased this past summer, to have some of my ministerial and MLA colleagues join me at Leduc number 1 for the summer rib cook-off, and to see the world's oldest drilling crew set to work on the working rig there. And I hope you guys join me this summer, because we're actually going to be cooking. I hope to have more of you visit this summer, and I also hope we can showcase some of the green and renewable energy sources that will illustrate how we can be an all-encompassing energy province. The riding I have the honor of representing has not only deep roots in the energy sector, but long before there was Leduc number 1, there was some of the best, and still is, some of the best agricultural land in the farmers in the province. In Leduc County, we have about 1,250 farms, many are in my riding, with roughly 228 hectares of land used for farming, which is about 15% of the county residents who are employed in agriculture. A few years ago, Leduc County, out of all the counties in the capital region, ranked first for total crop acreage, had the largest barley, oats, hay, and alfalfa acreages in the region, and it also ranked first for the value of livestock and poultry and the largest number of cattle and calves, approximately 60,000 head, which are things to be very proud of. We also have an amazing food processing development center in Leduc. It's a modern, fully equipped pilot plant and product development laboratory facility. It's staffed with experienced food scientists, engineers, and technologists. The center's services are designed to strengthen and expand the capability of Alberta's food processors to meet the challenges of the marketplace through application of new technology and the development of new or improved products and processes. I had the opportunity to tour this facility last summer and to welcome a Chinese delegation there to see it as well. They were so excited about the place that they inquired about how much it was to purchase within about 15 minutes of being there. So I could tell you we're very lucky to have such a facility in our riding and in our province. I mentioned the Edmonton International Airport before because it is an integral and very important part of the riding. It provides a good tax base that the County of Leduc uses to invest into our communities, keeping smaller rural towns and villages alive. They also give back to our communities through many different charitable initiatives. Ever wonder where all those liquids and interesting things confiscated at security go? Many of those are donated to the Leduc Food Bank for families in need. It is also Canada's largest major airport by total land area and the 5th busiest by passenger traffic and by aircraft movement, and Canada's first, I'm proud to say, LEED Gold certified airport. Over this past year, we've had the pleasure of welcoming Iceland Air, KLM Airlines, and Air China Cargo. And these new flights in and out of EIA have helped boost our economy and have shown we have a first-class airport here serving the capital region of Alberta. Speaking of boosting the economy of the capital region with significant growth projections for this region and the ideal location presented by seamless air-to-ground to rail connectivity at and around EIA, the city of Leduc County, they are concurrently embarking on an Aerotropolis viability study. Aerotropolis is a land use strategy that focuses on economic development around an airport. It also leverages the strengths of existing businesses on airport lands and surrounding areas to encourage further economic diversification and job growth. We're very excited about the positive impacts this will have on our area and surrounding areas going forward. But wait, there's more. We also have thriving music and arts community in the riding. In Beaumont, we have had since 2008 the Beaumont Blues and Roots Festival that has been presenting the Alberta capital region with the best in live Canadian blues, roots, folk, rockabilly, and country music. I hope some of you get to come and experience it. In Leduc, we have the amazing MacLab Center for the Performing Arts. It's a preeminent performing arts facility serving the whole county with music, theaters, dance, and more. It's also connected to the Leduc Composite High School, giving the kids a wonderful opportunity to explore the arts. Mr. Speaker, I'm Albertan by choice. I love living in the town of Beaumont and in my riding of Leduc-Beaumont. It has everything my family and I need. It is a beautiful place to live. We've chosen to raise our kids in the county of Leduc because it is an amazing place to raise a family. We love the communities, the people, and the land. Like some other members of this assembly, and like a lot of Albertans, I moved here with my family for opportunity that this province provides. I originally grew up in Duncan, BC on Vancouver Island and come from a long line of farmers and forestry workers. I have family in Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC, and the US. I am proud to come from a family of hardworking men and women, a family who have worked the land and continue to do so to provide for themselves and those around them. My twin brother, who we're fraternal, not identical, and he certainly can't grow a beard like I can, My sister, who's 4 years younger, and I grew up on a small hobby farm, about 5 acres, and over the years we had cows, pigs, laying hens, and horses. We had apple trees that Mom would say on the way to the bus, grab an apple for your lunch. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member. And we had cherry trees, hazelnut trees, plum trees, blackberries, and grapes. We were a 10-minute bike ride from one of the best fly fishing rivers in North America and about 15 minutes from the ocean. It was truly an incredible childhood. I'm blessed to have the two most amazing parents a person could ask for. They're two of the most kind, honest, hardworking, selfless people you will ever meet. We weren't rich, but we never lacked for anything. The love that my parents showed to us and continues to show to us and to everyone who comes into contact with them continue to drive me today. My dad is a strong, stubborn, and honest man, sometimes to a fault. He is blue collar and hardworking. And I don't say it enough, but I love you, Dad. I would put my dad's work ethic up against anyone. Even at 62, that man works harder than anyone I've ever seen in my life. All of my life, he has done what it takes to feed and clothe our family. The forest industry was our main source of income, so Mr. Speaker, I'm no stranger to the ups and downs of the economy and people losing their jobs and having to do whatever it takes to care for their families. When I have constituents who come in and have lost their job or are worried about losing their job, I get it. We've been there. I know they want to work hard and provide for their families just like my dad did and does. I will always do my best to help those who need a hand up. My mom and dad taught me you take care of the people around you. And maybe it's my Norwegian and Irish blood and the clan system ingrained in me, but I feel if you aren't going to help those around you who need it when they most need it, then what are we here for? My mom is probably the most caring and empathetic person you will ever meet. She consistently puts other people's needs above her own. From her, I learned compassion, caring, empathy, and how to listen. I used to joke that we couldn't go anywhere without a random person stopping her to bend her ear and tell her their life story. And she's always been there for anyone at any time. And I used to joke about it, but not anymore because it started happening to me day in and day out. And I guess I love people and they see past my exterior and realize that I am a big teddy bear and I care deeply for people around me and will always lend an ear and help. I am fiercely protective of those around and those that I care for, and I will always stick up for the little guy. I guess that's part of why I'm so pro-labor, and to me it doesn't matter if you're union or not, I'm going to stand up for you, and that's who I am. And that being said, I am proud of my union roots and a background and will not back down for them. I am a steel worker, and I'm proud of that. My time as a shop steward, vice president of my local, and delegate to convention gave me the push to run for MLA. My union brothers and sisters were and are behind me, and I will always be thankful for that. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, let me say this. I hope my colleagues from all sides can see this about me. What you see is what you get. I'm honest. If I don't know the answer to something, I'll admit it, and I'll try to find it for you. I won't ever be purposely misleading or untruthful. I can agree to disagree, and I respect all sides of a conversation or debate, even though I'm mostly right. I don't like playing games unless it's fastball or rugby. I'm straight up and straightforward. I dislike conjecture, speculation, and will always try to base my opinions and judgments and decisions on facts, as I believe we all should. Being informed on a subject is a wonderful thing. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me today. I appreciate it, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.